What's your vision? What do you want this to do for your company? What is your company? What's the essence of it?
We've been here for 35 years and we move real slow and move real slow with growth.
What does that mean?
And that means that we don't have salesmen out there banging on doors. We strictly sell word of mouth. And what we want out of this software, this app, is to be able to look at our accounts and get more information and make sure that our service people are being accounted for, and making sure that they're doing their jobs. And yeah, we're not
You're talking about the purpose of the app. How to get more.
yeah,
I think really our number one is to streamline
streamline
and do a better job controlling the
the information.
all the information that flows through. And my comment about the growth is we've grown as fast as we can afford to grow because we have to purchase equipment as we grow. So that is why we have never actually hired a salesman, and we get a lot of referrals because we do a good job. And Pete just goes out, and now Peter, when we get calls, and we put in more machines. So I don't really think that it's to promote growth. I think it's to
No.
streamline,
Is to make our jobs better and make us as a
make it
company
easier.
look like we're more professional.
Professional, yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
professional.
Because other companies,
Efficient.
because other companies that are in our industry, do use, these handhelds. I think we're the only ones still writing out invoices.
And we feel like we might be missing out on sales as well,
Oh, right, with our route drivers making mistakes.
making mistakes, dropping
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
off
Okay,
the
so
report.
talk a little bit more about that.
The mistake part. All the calculations are done on like their own iPhones right now. You know, they're just adding up the invoices by hand. They're calculating their own tax rates.
figuring their own pars out, which is really kind of,
Yeah, not all these guys are, numbers people, obviously. So it's just we want to take all that out of their hands. We
Out of
just
the
wanna-
equation.
yeah, we can't have them as a variable, and it pisses off our customers too. When, hey, here's a corrected bill, this guy forgot to add this in. We use the wrong tax
Right.
here.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, that's 3 times in a row. And it's like, yeah, I know, I'm sorry,
Mhm.
he's an idiot. It's like, what are you saying?
So,
Okay.
so one
That's
of the
good.
things that you guys are most excited about this app is it can take out human error to some
Oh,
degree.
yeah,
Okay.
100%.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. Human error.
Eliminate
Yeah.
human error.
Yeah, eliminate human error. And just because we're out in the field a lot, we're moving around a lot, and being able to have access to our handwritten records at all times would be great. Like if we had a fire or something, we would lose everything,
Sure.
Mm.
Yeah.
Everything's written down in a binder, on
Not
a
in a
shelf.
cloud somewhere,
Mhm.
No.
physically
Yeah.
sitting there, nothing like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your take on your current logo? Is that going to stand the test of time, and you're going to ride that one out with the business? And if so, do you want that to be sort of a hint of that in your branding, or is that out the window and you want this app to kind of stand alone?
Well, the only thought we had was something to like our logo, yeah, it probably would stay similar to what it is now, right?
yeah.
The only thing,
Yeah, what's
like,
on
the
your
one I
trucks
emailed-
doesn't change. The app is its own thing,
Yeah.
right? So we're
Yeah,
thinking
that's
about
its
you go
own
into the
thing.
app store,
That's all
you
we're
surf
really
it,
talking
you
about.
find it, you see it, and you go,
yeah.
oh, I'm gonna add that to my homepage, right? That's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
But-
so our only thought maybe was like incorporating the beaker, maybe. 'Cause that's like chemicals. I don't know.
All right.
We're
No,
open, we're flexible.
Well, the funny thing is my first round of logos without talking to you guys, I did that. I just modified it.
I think you can share them, Andy, Drew, if you want, or not.
All right. Well, I don't normally do this, but John is very convincing in trying
Yeah, I
to
know, I
get
did next to the guy.
Yeah,
things
that
up.
doesn't surprise anybody.
And so really, well, first of all, what I'd love to say, what I want to say is that I love this app idea, especially incorporating the voice eventually. That makes it super unique. Those handhelds, they don't talk into them, and it's a separate device that you have to pay for. When a cell phone with the app on it can do the job better and more efficiently because of the voice integration when you guys get there. I know that you're not quite there on the first round. So when I design logos, I like to make sure that whatever purpose they're serving is it's basically
Reflected or,
I'm sorry, what?
sorry, is you want it to reflect what our goal and our intention is? Or,
Well, it's more of a it's like visually how do we draw people into the experience through colors, through shapes. There's different types of logos. You know, there's logos that tell stories. There's logos that are just abstract, attention-getting kinds of things. And so I feel like what we need for you guys, especially really looking at it as an app icon and not as a logo necessarily. So what I'm about to show you, share. All right, there we go.
Yep, that's it.
oh, yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
Oh, now we don't see it. Now we
oh,
see
I'm
you.
sorry. I drug it onto the wrong. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, I mean, this was the initial thought that I had in my head. Now you can see that the actual logo mark,
Yeah, me too.
the word, I'm sorry, what was that?
Oh, no, we're just talking. No,
We're
go ahead.
talking
We're
to-
listening. We're listening.
Okay.
Thank you.
So the actual word mark is the clean logo is this one right here. So the thing that I feel I like the drop because it represents water and it can represent chemicals.
Yeah.
It's pink in the icon, and this is what we call the parent icon, but it's pink in the icon because I used to be a dishwasher when I was a kid in high school, in restaurants and also in a hospital. So I worked down in the dish room, and we had your guys probably come through and take stock and all those kinds of things. And I just remember there were 3 different colors. It was usually blue, pink, and maybe yellow.
Yeah.
And those became like kind of my primary palette, and green as well. So, you know, that's kind of basing it on my own experience. That's how I kind of figured out the color palette. Now, the thing is that this app is going to have to serve as its own tool for several different people or several different users.
Okay.
And so I felt like it would be really cool for us to come up with having the parent mark that's a bit more generic, but then having specific iconography within each of the different user experiences so that they felt heard, spoken to, like, oh, that's me. I'm an administrator, or yeah, I'm the customer. I mean, as I look at it now, I think that we're on the right track, but I feel like I really like the admin.
Yeah, the cartwheel.
You know, I mean, the gear and the like working all the time kind of thing. Scheduler, I really like, but you can see that they're very, very simple interpretations of the function that they provide. And that's important, especially when, see over here, I mean, I can zoom in a little bit more. That's more of a like hand kind of size, right? Maybe a little smaller, but you can see like even at that small size, it translates. Now, there's been some discussion about, well, if it's a driver portal, why isn't there a truck on it? Or, you know, or why don't I see an end product like a clean dish or something to that degree? So these are all things that we need to understand. I think that I like the clean dish idea probably more in the customer portal because that's their end goal. What was that?
I like what
did
you
too.
did. I really like
did
what you
too.
did. the heart and the hand. It's
Like-
just
like
customer service,
we
you
care,
know, like
yeah.
we
Oh,
care.
okay. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and I think that's kind of what this discussion is about. I mean, obviously we can send these to you and you can sit and sit with them and really kind of take in it. It's hard because, you know, doing what we do on a visual perspective, you should just be able to look at it and kind of get it. Like I shouldn't have to explain it all. I mean, that's I'm not saying that's the telltale sign of strong design. And so that's why I feel like we're not quite there yet, but we'll get there, especially with your feedback. And I mean, you know your customers. I can only imagine what they would respond to or really enjoy about clicking on that app and knowing that the minute I go into this portal and that I'm going to be taken care of is basically kind of, and I think that's to your point, that's exactly what that iconography implies. We're here for you 100%, you know.
So let me ask you this: if you guys
Those
get a sales call for a new potential new client, would you see yourself saying to them, "Hey, and check it out. If you contract with us, here, let me show you what you can do." And you click on this customer portal right in front of them and go, you know, here's our customer interface to our business, and maybe give them a short demo of the app. I mean, do you see that potentially as a tool you would use for selling or closing new accounts?
Definitely.
Yeah, I never even thought about that, but they're gonna be able to, our customers are gonna be able to go on our app and like request a service. call or something?
Phase two.
So yeah, request service call, look at
Oh,
their
wow.
billing, their history, all
That'd
that
be huge.
stuff.
Yeah.
So that,
If you want
Yeah.
to mute and talk amongst yourselves or just talk with us hearing you, it doesn't matter. But you know, absorb it. I'm glad we got a chance to show you. I kind of dig them, but you know, you guys have to like them too.
Yeah, I really like them.
I really like them.
I think
Yeah,
it's simple.
absolutely.
It says what it, you know, it shows.
Yeah, I think.
I
it's
totally
really
understood
good.
your design process there, where you know you should be able to tell what you're about to enter into by just
yeah.
a quick visual. The
Well,
colors are
that's the
nice.
thing too, is if we're gonna repackage this and sell it to other companies that do what you do
Right.
Yeah,
as this product, as the clean app. And maybe what happens is less and less of those handhelds are out there anymore. Like maybe they become a thing of the past because of what you and John are creating right now. I mean, that's kind of a great goal, is to
Yeah.
dominate with just an app. And you know, and that becomes part of the marketing conversation that we develop for you guys when we're ready to go sell this. I mean, right now we're doing it for you and to help you out, but you're your best use case. And so, you know, that's what I like about it is that you guys know that you created this, but everybody else is going to be like, dang, like definitely, finally, somebody did this. So, but it's the voice part of it that I'm most excited about, because that's really what is going to separate it from any other app that probably can do a lot of the same thing, maybe not specific to
Well, that's
dishwashing.
yeah, that's another thing is they've
Yeah.
tried another app and
Oh,
it didn't
okay.
fit the needs and they abandoned it. So
So what was it about the other app that didn't fly with you
We have
guys?
the answer.
Well, it's just, there's just too much work to get we were trying to put a square can into a round hole.
we were trying to work the way we were trying to see how that program works and change the way we did everything to make it work, and we weren't able. Our business is kind of unique in that way, so we weren't able to get to make it work for us.
So it wasn't specific to what you do.
No, it wasn't
No,
not
adaptable.
A lot of these program like the box or shelf ready ones are like HVAC companies, plumbing companies, stuff like that. And we're just a little different in how we bill and our billing periods and stuff like in our equipment, how we monitor it.
and Andy, we have all that covered with our architecture and database
Okay.
design and everything. So that's all covered. So yeah. So cool. So this is that. Brenda, what are your thoughts? I want to hear you say something.
Well, first of all, I love the parent icon. I love
Okay.
all of it. The driver portal I really like, but I don't know if the route drivers will connect to that,
The beakers,
the beakers,
like
yeah.
maybe like a wheel or
Or, yeah,
a hand truck.
I don't know,
Like
I'm
a
not,
hand truck.
I don't know if I'm creative like that, but
Um,
did you get my point? I don't know.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I do. And what's funny is we got feedback from one of John's partners and then also his wife. And at first I was like, yeah, man, I don't know. But as I, had a night to think about it and as I come around, I feel like it is more beneficial for it to be immediately identified. So I looked at that one, the driver portal one, as supplies. And
That's how exactly what I look at it. I was gonna say it should be like for our chemicals, our item numbers or whatever, like what we sell.
But can they connect?
well, but at the same time, then though, what I was liking about the super admin portal right here is that it's circular within a circle or a half circle or what the C.
Right,
So then I started thinking, okay, well, how can we bring more of a circular kind of interior to match what it is? And so that got me thinking, okay, well, maybe it's a steering wheel rather than
Driver,
yeah. And then we can color the internal parts of the steering wheel, like the void, the negative space, the different colors of the chemicals. But it's more identified to a driver.
right, that sounds like a great idea.
Okay, and then as far as the customer service goes, I can get rid of the hand and make a plate with the heart
I
on
don't
it.
know, I like the hand.
I like, yeah, I
like
think
the
they
hand?
like the hand. I like the hand too. And
Yeah.
again,
yeah,
that's as a salesperson who sold software my entire career, and it's so funny because that's what we did at Oracle. We'd go in and we'd tell the customer, now you've got to change your processes to the best practices of the industry, and we'd sell them the app, and they would change their whole business process for us, and it'd piss people off, right? Because they're like, no, the process is what makes us unique against our competition sometimes.
Yeah.
And so that's honestly, that's why I started this company because, I've done a lot of, making square pegs fit in round holes, and I know how to make the round peg. So what the hell why do I keep doing that? Why not do it myself?
Well, maybe what would be cool is to put a plate on the hand. So it's like, like it's part of
There's like a little background or something.
kind
in the
of,
heart.
yeah. I mean, we have to be careful too because it's an app logo.
Yeah, it only is so big.
It's only so big.
Yeah.
It tells so much of a story without it then getting lost when it's small. And
Really do love the bubbles.
oh, awesome. Well, I'm glad. Thank
I
you.
mean,
I
I
am
love
thinking-
the bubbles.
But I am also thinking about putting a little star, like a shine star, somewhere in the corner, or even a couple of just little bubbles that got away from the pile.
yeah.
Okay.
Another suggestion that I'm going to offer is instead of the calendar, if we're going with a round theme, why not time or a clock rather than a day or a month or a week or whatever? But what time? That's still a schedule.
I like the calendar because it really tells you scheduler.
I don't know, we
Yeah.
all like the.
And we specifically talked about that this morning, Drew, where we have a super admin that can add and remove users, add and remove customers, and then there's this other admin that kind of handles the routes and handles the schedules, but can't delete, can't get into the databases and all that kind of stuff. But they need to have some degree of power in case a route needs to change or a guy calls in sick or something like that.
Okay.
Is that right? Is that right, you guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing that's important to understand about this whole thing is that these are all not their own apps. I don't think. I mean, I haven't talked to John about that yet. So
No, they're based on your login. So like that
yeah,
phone on the right, if you're a super admin, when you log in, you have a yellow icon instead, and it tells the user you have super admin access. That makes sense.
yeah, and I feel like the great thing about these, I really love the colors too. I mean, like I said, they're all based on
Very soft, very.
colors of
easy.
chemicals, and they're fun.
Yeah, it's good.
Fun is good.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I think there's definitely always room for improvement on things, but I really like that you like this because I love it, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
So
yeah, we really like it.
we'll send it to you. We'll let you look at it, chew on it, think about it. And thanks for sharing the information about your, vision and goals. So would you say you get, Peter, one new sales call a month? You're looking at maybe bringing on a new customer. Is that the average rate? Some months you have three, some months you have zero,
No.
or
We put
no?
in 3 this week.
So yeah,
oh wow.
three,
So you'll close 30% of those?
probably eight.
When they call us, it's a lot easier.
Right.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Ultra
That's why we
warm
don't need a
lead.
salesman, John. That's.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's part of the deal. When we get this app resellable, I mean, we can talk about it, but I mean, I have no problem doing sales of the app for sure. I mean, if you want
Yeah.
to get, like, let's call some companies in Oregon and say, hey, we got this app, you can check it out, and we'll have a whole program
Yeah.
for them.
I mean, it could
Yeah.
be cool to even go to some kind of, I'm assuming that just like most industries, there's some kind of a
Trade
conference,
show. Yeah.
something you
Oh.
go to.
Is
So
there?
it's
Yes,
very cool to
yes.
set up a booth and just talk about the app and get people engaged in that. At that point, you could sell it almost as a membership kind of thing
Oh, yeah.
at a higher price point.
Yeah.
So that it becomes a tool for them to make money. It's not some cute thing that I found that no, you've built it specifically for your industry. And that
Yeah.
deserves a higher price point
Yeah,
on it.
absolutely.
So
Yeah, right.
yeah, well, and the other thing too is that you can also use it to close more your deals or
To keep
upsell.
track.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a way for you to gather information and data to help you improve your process, help your customers save money on the back end. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it'll help you to figure out, well, okay, they went from using this much to this much. Why? Is it higher
Exactly.
volume?
Yeah.
Which
Or the
is-
other
or-
direction. They stop
Catch it
using so
faster.
much.
Or they stop. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And you can figure out ways to improve their, like, maybe things aren't, but that's why I can't wait until you get to the phase where they can just walk around the dishwasher and talk about it, and it just translates it all into copy.
The
that can
data,
be
the data elements.
the data
All right.
elements of it.
So we have
Yeah.
4 more minutes. Any other thoughts that you guys have, Peter and Brenda, on this, or any other thing you want to share with us about your vision of the company that'll help just inform us?
Just real quick, will it be possible on the customer portal for them to look at that to see what their current balances are? And that sort of thing? Or is-
That's
Okay.
the vision of it. It's not in the scope of the current deliverable.
Right, but
we
I mean
wanted to build the
long-term.
icon now so they kind of have a similar
Okay.
a vibe. So that is definitely in phase 2, and it's not going to be very hard to do because it's literally just another persona that we just have to build. Like, the data is already going to be there. We just have to expose it.
Right.
They're not gonna- not to-
Well, then we have to go back and enter paid invoices in the
Yes.
end.
Yeah.
Let's talk about later.
Okay.
Yeah. We can talk about it later. But I think the idea behind the customer portal, at least the way I understand your business, would be, oh shoot, we had an emergency. I want to let them know that I need
Yeah.
an emergency service. So that's one of them. 2, oh shoot, what's my outstanding invoice again? I want to make sure I pay it, and they can just look it up really easily. Or maybe and if you want to expose other things like the cycles they did last month so they can see it themselves, I don't know.
Yeah, their entire.
Yeah, see that part there would be great.
We don't have to mark paid or not. They can just have access to all their invoices.
Right, right. That way they know how much they're spending, they know when we were there, what they bought. Yeah,
Yeah, and you could easily, like, I'm sure you guys have at least one American Express card, right? So you know how Amex sends you that year-end thing. This is what you spent all your money on.
Oh, yeah.
It invoices
Yeah,
it for you. Not that you want to go to that extreme, but like, this was your whole year, right? Boom, they just get it. They send it to their tax guy and whatever, maybe.
yeah.
Well, and also access to the notes that the drivers made.
Oh yeah, if you want to make driver
So that
notes, that's a
they-
good point.
Yeah, and then you can actually make recommendations like milestones, like a car. So we have a 30,000 mile, 20,000 mile,
Right.
all that kind of
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
maintenance kind of thing, and that's just another premium. So they can buy into those packages. I mean, there's so much potential to
Or
upsell.
I'm looking to get another machine. Click,
Yeah,
and you guys get notified.
yeah, that as well.
Okay.
Cool.
All
Thank
right.
you guys very
Are we
much.
good?
Excited.
Of
Yeah,
course.
no, thank you.
Great.
I'm
Really
I'm
like
glad
your
you
stuff so far,
I'm glad you
Drew.
like that design. That makes me feel good.
Me too.
Awesome. All right, take care. Thanks for
All
the
right,
time.
bye. It was
Yep,
great
yep.
meeting you.